我就他妈只能抓你回去了。
I'll start off by saying Fight Against Evil 3 is one of the best fight films I have seen in a long time. It is a must-watch for martial arts fans. I have to say I have not watched any of the previous entries of the Fight Against Evil trilogy since it never looked that appealing to me. But for some reason 3 really sparked my interest. The trailers showed very nice fight scenes and that was enough for me to want to watch the film, and I'm so glad I did, and now I think I will go and watch the first 2 films. The film sees Officer Li, played by Miao, having to meet his mother-in-law to prepare for his wedding. While taking a plane to meet his mother-in-law, he is seated next to a child, Ting, who helps ease his anxiety from flying. Upon landing, they exchange numbers, and due to unforeseen circumstances, they go their separate ways. The girl gets kidnapped by human traffickers, and Li, with the help of his old colleagues and his mother-in-law, work together to bring down the criminals. It is not necessary to have watched the first 2 films, since the story itself is pretty much standalone. The only positive I guess one would get is the reoccurring characters that I suspect were established from the previous entries, since when their names are mentioned it seems to register some significance to the characters on screen. There's something about the choreography which has this Japanese influence. It's hard to explain, but if you watched any of the Baby Assassin films, Ghost Killer, or even any of the Kenji Tanigaki choreographed films, then you will have a better understanding of the style on display. Imagine, if you will, the mixing of Baby Assassins, Twilight Warriors, and the Rurouni Kenshin films. But what makes this film so much better is that it's pretty much more grounded compared to the likes of the aforementioned films, where Twilight had some very bizarre wire work. Fight Against Evil opts to have everything mostly wire-free, with the odd occasion where throws are being complemented with some wire work. Miao really excels here. He uses every part of his body during the fights, and during the multiple one versus many situations, he will utilize another person to block off the other assailant. It's also refreshing to see how hard the impacts are. The punches and kicks connect, and the throws and falls all look painful. It's also very pleasing to say that the framing and editing for the fights are also on point. There was one gripe that I have to say: the fight between Miao and Philip is a bit of a letdown. It's not bad, but it featured more rapid edits, and both Miao and Philip do spend more time posing than anything that has come before. Miao gives a strong performance as a stoic, kind-hearted police officer, but he's not given much to do in terms of range. He's sure trying a lot harder than anything that Andy On has been releasing recently. Philip once again plays the over-the-top villain role. It seems like after his fame from Twilight Warriors is all that he does, though not as overblown or annoying as his performance in Furious Attack. Philip still possesses little in subtlety. He laughs maniacally and spews nonsensical dialogue as if he's reading his lines. The lack of an engaging story may be a tad detrimental, but it serves a strong framework for the fights to happen. The story features way too many conveniences, such as when the child runs away and bumps into the kidnappers, or the mother-in-law bumping into the kidnappers. There are many more circumstances that are just so cliched. Probably the most flawed aspect is the comedy. Some jokes can elicit a mild chuckle, but by and large the gags fall flat. Thankfully, they are not grating and can alleviate some of the darker subject matter. Also quite baffling, the film also tries to make the female kidnapper sympathetic, but it conflicts with the horrible acts she is doing. But I have to say her performance from Wang Mi is fantastic. When she's on screen, she gives this electric performance, providing both menace and vulnerability at the same time. I cannot stress enough how good the fights are, and I highly recommend any martial arts film fans to watch this film.
那我就他妈只能抓你回去了。